we're going to change our focus now, and Vunani's Anthony Clark describes Rolfes as a little gem to be discovered again. Quite poetic language coming through. Today, the company bought Bragan Chemicals, and their CEO, Lizette Lynch from Rolfes, joins us to share more insight on this. Suzette, Lynette, rather, I'm giving you another name. Lovely to have you here. Let's talk about the change in sector focus for Rolfes. Why does this particular acquisition make sense for your future earnings?
Well, obviously it opens up a whole new broader product base and market base for us. The customer base also provides us with huge scope for our other businesses to gain entry into that customer base, and vice versa. You know, for Bragan into our current customer base, there's also quite a bit of scope for
One
them.
would read from this acquisition that the intention is perhaps to position yourself as a chemical provider across many industries. Is this the first of a longer pipeline of acquisitions for Rolfes?
We hope so. We certainly hope so. We believe that our executive team is now geared for a good organic growth focus as well as a good acquisition strategy focus, with Arad van der Merwe, who relinquished his role to drive the acquisition strategy in Rolfes. Definitely.
Let's talk about the funding. How's this transaction going to be funded?
Well, it's funded 50-50 through equity and debt. All the details is also obviously available once the circular is mailed to shareholders, which is soon.
And of course, when you start talking debt, one wants to know what level of gearing is the executive comfortable with. Are you able to share with us how leveraged you might become after this transaction?
Not at the moment, but we're quite comfortable with the gearing going forward.
So there's another player that's mentioned in the SENS announcement that was put out today. That's Massimong Group. How do they fit into the broader picture?
Well, Massimong obviously has taken up the equity side of the funding. They're going to play a very strategic role going forward. Mike Teki is already on our board. We're very excited having an anchor shareholder like Massimong. And that also obviously plays along with our acquisition strategy going forward.
Just a quick one before I let Owen jump in. I can see that he's itching. So I quickly want to touch on the role of Mike Teki, because we know that he's also the vice president of the Chamber of Mines. You're a big player in the mining space. Does this not create certain corporate governance issues and give you unfair advantage in the space because of his influence in the chamber and in the industry?
We're in fact not a big player on the mining side. We've got Rolfes Silica, that is a silica mine in Brits. We have 80 people employed in that mine, so relatively actually a very small player in the mining industry.
So a small player, but no doubt that the presence of Mike Teki on the board would influence positively.
Yes, absolutely. I'm sure there's a positive influence. But, you know, like I say, we're a small player. We keep 80 people employed. And, yeah.
Oh, and I'm sorry, I've just dominated this whole conversation.
So strategically, are you not sensing that Mike will most probably push for more involvement in the mining space from your company's perspective? Obviously, he's coming out of the Optimum Coal space and the vice president of the Chamber of Mines, as Nuzbo said. And actually, you mentioned, I think probably without noticing, you said it's nice to have an anchor shareholder. Mike is actually a shareholder at Anchor Capital as well. So do you think it's going to be able to help you guys get into more of the mining sort of support services from your perspective?
Owen, mining is not actually our focus. Yeah. Our focus is more industrial chemicals, industrial and related chemicals, agri-chemicals, water chemicals. We've positioned ourselves to play an integral part in the provision of food, water, security in Africa, and also locally, and infrastructure and industrial development. So mining is not that much, mining is not a focus for us.
Well, congratulations on that acquisition. That is the chief executive of Rolfes speaking to us about that acquisition of Bragan Chemicals.